V. There is a secret so profound that once you grasp it, it alters not only the course of your life, but the course of every relationship you will ever touch. It is the secret of energy, the invisible current that shapes thought, molds reality, and binds people to you in ways they cannot understand, but cannot resist. The world has taught you to beg, to chase, to persuade with words, with actions, with labor, and with compromise. But I tell you, there is no greater persuasion than the energy you radiate. Energy is not seen with the eyes, yet it is felt more deeply than words. It speaks to the subconscious, and the subconscious does not argue. Once you send this energy, they are hooked for life. For energy is spirit clothed in vibration, and every spirit responds to the one who dares to command it with faith. Most of you have been conditioned to believe that power lies outside of you, that approval must be sought, that attention must be won, that love must be earned, that respect must be begged for. Yet you are the operant power. The kingdom of heaven is within you, not scattered across the indifferent glances of others. What you feel with intensity and persistency becomes law to your world. When you send out the energy of certainty, the energy of possession, the energy of love fully realized, it lodges itself in the hearts of others as if it were their own thought. They cannot escape it because it is not imposed upon them. It arises from within them, untraceable to you, yet wholly commanded by your invisible faith. And so they feel you, they think of you, they dream of you, they are magnetized to you, not knowing why. It is because energy has gone forth, and energy cannot return void. The secret is to imagine not with hope, but with the quiet authority of fulfillment. When you walk into a room, people are already responding to the unseen vibration you carry. If you walk in longing, grasping, doubting, you repel. But if you walk in already knowing, already claiming, already fulfilled, then the energy has gone out before you, and their hearts align. The one you love will feel as though they have always loved you. The one you wish to influence will feel as though they have always trusted you. The opportunity you seek will open as though it had always been meant for you. It is not magic, it is law. The imagination creates reality, and energy is simply imagination clothed in sensation. Once you embody the state, you radiate it, and once it is radiated, it is received. Once it is received, it is never forgotten. Think for a moment of those who have left permanent impressions on your life. Perhaps they spoke words that lingered, or perhaps you simply felt something in their presence that marked you. That feeling was energy. You did not fall in love with their words, nor were you inspired by their actions alone. You were moved by the energy they carried, the invisible certainty that what they were radiating was real. That is why when you remember them, it is not facts that return to your mind, but feelings. The feelings are immortal because energy is immortal, and if another could so impress their energy upon you, then you too can impress yours upon others. It is not a question of ability, but of belief. Now let us make it practical. When you desire someone's attention, you need not chase them. Close your eyes and feel yourself already possessing their attention. Hear their voice calling your name. See their eyes filled with recognition, longing, or love. Do not imagine as though you are commanding them, for that would be resistance. Imagine as though you are remembering something already true. The difference is subtle but crucial. One comes from lack, the other comes from fullness. Once you send this energy from fullness, they cannot escape it. They will feel an inexplicable urge to think of you, to reach out, to move toward you, and it will feel to them as though it is their own idea. But it is your energy that has birthed the seed in their subconscious. You planted it by embodying it, and seeds always bear fruit. Do not think this applies only to love, for it is the principle of life itself. If you desire wealth, the energy of wealth must be sent forth. Not desperation for money, not the begging of circumstance, but the quiet assurance that wealth already belongs to you. If you imagine yourself wealthy with such vividness that you feel it in your bones, then you are radiating wealth. People will begin to treat you differently, not because of your words, but because of the signal you are sending. Opportunities will open, doors will swing, ideas will surface, because the energy of wealth is magnetic to its likeness. If you desire health, send forth the energy of wholeness. See yourself already strong, already radiant, already vibrant, and the cells of your body will respond. Life obeys the energy of conviction. What I wish you to understand deeply and beyond doubt is that people are not responding to what you say, they are responding to what you are radiating. This is why two people can speak the same words and one is ignored while the other is obeyed. It is why one presence comforts while another presence irritates. It is the invisible atmosphere that surrounds you, your state of consciousness, that commands reality. And when you deliberately choose your state, when you hold it with persistence, when you embody it so fully that it becomes natural, then the energy you send hooks others for life. They cannot forget you, for you have stamped yourself upon their inner world. They may resist for a season, but resistance only strengthens the bond, for subconscious impressions do not die. You may ask, is this manipulation? No. For you cannot make another feel what you have not first made real within yourself. You cannot radiate what you do not embody. If you desire love, you must first become love. If you desire loyalty, you must first feel loyalty. If you desire abundance, you must first live abundantly in imagination. The energy you send is the harvest of what you cultivate within. And so, in truth, you are never manipulating others. You are only arranging the mirror of reality to reflect the image you hold. Those who align with your energy are drawn, those who cannot align fall away. This is not cruelty. It is divine order, for the law of vibration cannot be broken. Imagine the life you long for. See it, feel it, touch it in your imagination. Live in it as though it were already yours. Do not treat imagination as a mere daydream, but as the creative act itself. The energy you send from this state is irresistible. Once it is sent, it goes out to the ends of the earth and returns multiplied. If you hold the energy of rejection, you will be rejected. If you hold the energy of belonging, you will belong. Once you send the energy of love, others cannot help but love you. Once you send the energy of authority, others cannot help but respect you. The secret is not in trying harder in the outer world, but in sending a purer signal from the inner one. Do you see how free this makes you? You are no longer chained to chance, no longer waiting on another's permission, no longer at the mercy of circumstance. You are the sender of energy, and the world is your receiver. Once you learn to send with conviction, with fullness, with unwavering persistence, you hold the hearts of men and women, you command the respect of nations, you magnetize the opportunities that others call miracles. But to you they are not miracles, they are law fulfilled. So tonight I invite you to practice. Close your eyes and bring before your mind the one you desire to think of you. Do not imagine them as distant or unattainable. Imagine them as already yours, already connected, already entwined. Feel the energy of the connection so strongly that you cannot tell whether it is memory or imagination. Send it out, not with strain but with ease. Let the energy go forth as though it had always been there. Then release it and watch as reality conforms. They will think of you, they will dream of you, they will reach for you, and they will not know why. But you will know, for once you send this energy, they are hooked for life. Let this become your way of living. No longer struggling, no longer chasing, no longer begging, but radiating, embodying, sending forth the energy of the life you desire. The world cannot resist you when you stand in the fullness of your imagined reality. Every man, every woman, every circumstance is but the mirror of the energy you project. Project wisely. Send love and love returns. Send abundance and abundance flows. Send certainty and certainty becomes flesh. This is your inheritance, your divine gift, your eternal law. And so I say again, once you send this energy, they are hooked for life. For energy is eternal. And what is impressed upon the subconscious of another is written in the book of their soul. They may wander, they may forget, but the seed remains, and in time it must grow. Use this power not in fear, not in desperation, but in love. Send forth the energy of the life you choose, and watch as the universe bends, as hearts awaken, as doors open. For nothing can resist the one who has mastered the art of sending energy. And yet, beloved, let me tell you that the energy you radiate is not only a force that reaches another heart or shapes a single encounter, but it is the very current by which you weave the fabric of your destiny. There is no barrier strong enough to resist the quiet persistence of inner conviction. The world may mock, deny, or ignore you, but once the energy has been impressed upon the unseen realm, it has already begun its journey into form. This is why the wise do not trouble themselves with appearances. Appearances are shadows, but energy is substance. What you persist in feeling will harden into fact, and those who once doubted will marvel, though they cannot trace the origin of your power, and you will know that you have always been the sender of energy, and that life itself has always been your obedient receiver. There is a mystery in this, that people who are far away from you physically can feel you as though you were beside them. Have you not experienced thinking of someone intensely only for them to call or appear as though summoned by your thought? This is no accident, no coincidence, but the law in operation. Thought clothed in feeling becomes energy, and energy transcends the limits of space. When you send out the vibration of connection, that vibration is received whether across a room or across an ocean. The distance does not matter, for energy is not hindered by miles. It moves through the ether of consciousness, striking the subconscious of another, awakening in them a thought, a yearning, a desire that feels wholly their own, and they will respond. Not because you force them, but because energy once sent must complete its circle. Understand this: when you cling in fear, you send the energy of fear, and fear repels. When you plead in desperation, you send desperation, and desperation drives away. But when you rest in the assurance that it is already yours, you send out peace, fullness, completion. And peace attracts, fullness draws, completion secures. The paradox is that once you feel complete within, others will rush to complete themselves with you. Once you send the energy of possession, possession is inevitable. That is why you must guard your inner conversations, for every thought wrapped in feeling is energy broadcast to the world. Your inner dialogue is not private. It is the signal tower of your destiny. Whisper to yourself, I am loved, I am chosen, I am desired. And that whisper becomes a trumpet in the subconscious of another. Murmur in doubt. They do not want me, they do not think of me, and that murmur becomes their truth. For they cannot resist the energy you insist upon. This is why you must train your imagination to dwell only on that which you desire to see made flesh. The untrained imagination is like a wild horse, running in every direction, wasting energy in fear, in jealousy, in resentment, in longing. But the trained imagination is a mighty stallion, carrying you directly to the promised land of fulfillment. Once you train it, once you persist, then the energy you send is precise, focused, unstoppable. It does not scatter in 1,000 conflicting vibrations, but goes forth as a single arrow, piercing the heart of reality itself. And when it hits, there is no resisting it. Those you wish to influence will not even know why their hearts turn toward you, but they will, for the energy has spoken. And consider too that this energy is eternal. Once impressed, it cannot be erased. This is why some encounters haunt you long after they have ended. Someone impressed their energy upon you so strongly that you cannot forget them. Years may pass, circumstances may change, but the energy remains lodged in your subconscious, waiting to be awakened. If another can do this to you, do you not see that you can do it deliberately? Why wait for chance impressions when you can consciously stamp your energy upon the world? Why drift as a receiver when you are meant to be the sender? Rise then into the authority of your divine inheritance, and choose what you will send. For once you send it with conviction, the impression is permanent. You will find that those who once ignored you begin to notice you, that those who once dismissed you begin to pursue you, that those who once resisted you begin to soften toward you. They may believe it is their own change of heart, but you will know it is the law. For you planted the seed in the unseen, and now you behold the harvest in the seen. But let me warn you, do not use this power carelessly. To send energy in anger, in vengeance, in bitterness, is to bind yourself to those states, and their harvest will not bring you peace. Send instead the energy of love, of abundance, of joy, of certainty, and you will be bound to these states forever. I tell you, the most irresistible energy you can send is love without condition. For unconditional love is the very nature of God, and when you radiate it, you embody the divine. This kind of love does not beg, does not cling, does not demand. It simply radiates, confident that it already possesses what it seeks. And once you send this energy, no heart can escape it. They may resist for a time, but they will find themselves haunted by the sweetness of your spirit, by the peace of your presence, by the warmth of your invisible touch. Even in silence, you will speak to them. Even in absence, you will be present. Even when they try to turn away, they will be drawn back, for the energy of unconditional love never dies. Let us take it further. Do you realize that nations, movements, and revolutions are birthed not by words or weapons, but by energy? A single man or woman convinced of their vision can ignite millions, because the energy of conviction spreads like fire. When you send the energy of certainty into the world, you create a field that others cannot help but enter. They may not even know why they are moved, but they are, and so it is with you. Once you hold the energy of your chosen reality with unwavering persistence, you create a field around you. All who come near you are influenced by it. Some will be inspired, some will be unsettled, but none will remain unchanged. Your energy is the atmosphere they breathe, and once they have breathed it, it becomes part of them. I want you to grasp the weight of this. You are never powerless. You may feel ignored, but the energy you send is always working. You may feel unseen, but the energy you radiate is always being received. Every inner act is an outer seed, and every seed has its appointed season. Do not despair if you do not see instant results. The seed grows in secret before it breaks through the soil. Trust the process. Trust the energy. Persist in the assumption that what you have sent is already accomplished, and in due season it will appear. And when it appears, you will marvel at how naturally it arrives. The call you receive, the meeting you stumble upon, the opportunity that falls into your lap, all will seem ordinary to others, but you will know it was the energy you sent that brought it forth. Others will call it fate, coincidence, or luck, but you will smile, for you will know it was law. And once you know it, once you taste the sweetness of deliberate creation, you will never again beg from the outer world. You will know that the only task is to send the right energy, and the world will rearrange itself to reflect it. So tonight I ask you, what energy are you sending? Are you radiating fear or faith, lack or abundance, longing or fulfillment, desperation or love? Look around you and you will see the answer, for your world is nothing more than your energy made visible. If you do not like what you see, change what you send. Withdraw your attention from the unwanted and dwell instead in the reality you desire. Feel it until it becomes natural. Send it until it becomes automatic. And then watch as the world conforms. For once you send this energy, they are hooked for life. Not only individuals, but circumstances, opportunities, even the very fabric of destiny itself. And the beauty of it is that you do not need effort. Effort is resistance. Energy flows best in ease. You need not force, you need not strain. Simply assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and let that assumption radiate from you. You are not trying to create, you are allowing creation to unfold from what you have already imagined. And because you have imagined it vividly, it is inevitable. The energy has been sent, and it must return to you multiplied. Take this truth and live it. Send only what you wish to receive. Radiate only what you wish to encounter. Hold fast to the vision of your desire as though it were already fact, and send it out with the quiet authority of fulfillment. Then rest, knowing that it is done. For once you send this energy, they are hooked for life, and nothing in heaven or earth can unhook them. And so I say to you again, the unseen world is far more faithful than the one you see with your eyes, for what you see is already finished. It is the echo of what was sent before. The true work is not done in the clamor of the outer world, but in the silence of your inner being, where every feeling, every assumption, every image carries within it the power to create worlds. When you hold fast to a state, when you let it saturate your senses until you can taste it, touch it, smell it, hear it, then you have already sent it. And the universe bends to receive. You cannot send energy and fail to receive its harvest, for that would be a violation of law, and law cannot be violated. You are as faithful as the seed, and every seed bears after its kind. A seed of love yields love. A seed of confidence yields respect. A seed of abundance yields wealth. And when you sow faithfully, the world is compelled to bring forth in kind. What then of those who tell you that you must labor endlessly, that you must beg and bargain for attention, that you must struggle for survival? They have forgotten the law. They have confused shadows with substance. They have chained themselves to appearances and wondered why their chains do not break. But you are free the moment you remember that your inner world is cause, and the outer is effect, and cause is always greater than effect. The smallest seed produces the mightiest tree, and so the smallest inner act produces the greatest outer change. Once you master this, once you deliberately choose the energy you send, you will laugh at the thought of chasing, of pleading, of bowing before circumstance. For you will know that circumstance itself is bowing before you. There are those who come into your life and remain unforgettable, not because of what they said or did, but because of what they radiated. Their energy marked you, stamped you, branded itself into your subconscious. That impression did not fade with time, because energy once impressed is eternal. And so it is with you. When you deliberately send forth an energy of such intensity, such conviction, such fullness, you impress yourself upon others in ways they cannot erase. They may forget your words, they may misplace your actions, but they cannot forget your energy. It lives in them like a flame that refuses to die. And when they lie awake at night wondering why you haunt them, why they cannot shake you from their thoughts, it is because once you send this energy, they are hooked for life. But let me tell you, this is not only about individuals, this is about destiny itself. For just as one person can be hooked by your energy, so too can opportunities, doors, paths, entire chapters of life be bound to you by the energy you send. Do you desire success? Then stop sending the energy of failure. Stop rehearsing defeat in your imagination. Stop anticipating rejection. Instead, close your eyes and feel the victory as already accomplished. Walk in the halls of success in your mind. Hear the applause, feel the weight of recognition, touch the evidence of prosperity. Send that energy as though it were the most natural thing in the world, and it will call success to you as surely as the magnet draws iron. The tragedy of most lives is not that they lacked opportunity, but that they lacked mastery over energy. They sent confusion, and they received confusion. They sent doubt, and they received doubt. They sent fear, and fear built walls around them. But you are awakening to the truth now. You know that the energy you hold is the energy you live. So choose wisely. Do not send from emptiness but from fullness. Do not send from longing but from possession. Do not send from doubt but from certainty. For energy is not a beggar. Energy is a king, and the world does not resist a king. I tell you, the most magnetic energy is peace, for peace is wholeness, and wholeness is irresistible. When you stand in peace, when you radiate calm assurance, the world feels safe in your presence. People are drawn to you without knowing why, because your peace becomes their peace. They breathe easier around you, they relax in your presence, they long for you when you are absent. Peace is power, clothed in gentleness, and once you send it, no one can unhook themselves from it. They will return again and again, for they will crave the atmosphere you carry. And is this not what love truly is? Not clinging, not demanding, not grasping, but radiating an energy so whole, so safe, so abundant, that others cannot help but desire it forever. And so I urge you to practice daily the art of sending energy. Do not wait until crisis forces you. Begin now. In the morning when you rise, ask yourself, what energy shall I radiate today? If you rise in dread, you will send dread. If you rise in gratitude, you will send gratitude. If you rise in certainty, you will send certainty. Train yourself as you would train a musician to tune his instrument, for your energy is the music you play to the world, and the world will always dance to your tune. Do not say to yourself, I will try. Trying is the language of doubt. Say instead, it is done. Do not say, I hope they notice me. Say instead, they cannot forget me. Do not say, perhaps it will come. Say instead, it is already mine. These are not empty affirmations, they are the energy you are sending, and once you send it, it must return. Law cannot be mocked. The harvest is certain. Now imagine for a moment the one whose heart you wish to win, the one whose thoughts you wish to fill. Do not see them as distant, as unattainable, as another world away. See them close, near, already bound to you by an invisible thread. Feel their presence as though it were tangible. Feel their love as though it were pouring into you. Feel their recognition as though it were carved in stone. Send that energy again and again until it becomes natural to you, until you no longer wonder if it is working but rest in the knowledge that it already has. Then go about your day in peace, knowing that the seed has been planted. In time they will call, they will appear, they will confess what you have always known, that they could not stop thinking of you, that they were drawn to you, that they were hooked from the beginning. And you will smile, for you will know that the beginning was the moment you sent the energy. Let me tell you this. Never underestimate the power of persistence. One moment of sending may plant the seed, but persistence waters it until it grows. Return again and again in imagination to the scene of fulfillment. Each return strengthens the impression, deepens the energy, saturates the subconscious until it can no longer be denied. Others may grow weary, but the one who persists will always reap. Do not measure by appearances. Appearances lie. Energy is faithful. Continue sending, continue embodying, continue persisting, and the harvest will overwhelm you. And when it comes, when you see the fruit of what you have sent, you will realize that you have always been the source. The world was never against you, it was only waiting on your signal. People were never ignoring you, they were only waiting for your energy to align. Circumstances were never withholding, they were only reflecting the energy you had broadcast. And when you change the signal, the reflection changes. This is the greatest freedom, that you are not bound by the outer world. You are not the victim of circumstance, you are the sender, the cause, the origin. So send boldly, send with faith, send with love, and do not shrink back when appearances whisper otherwise. The appearances are fading echoes, but the energy you send now is eternal. Once you send it, they are hooked, and nothing can unhook them, for the subconscious does not forget. Even if they run in circles back to you. Even if they resist only to be drawn stronger. Even if they deny only what they secretly feel. For energy is truth, and truth cannot be denied forever. And as you walk in this awareness, you will find your life transformed. You will cease from the exhausting labor of striving, and enter into the effortless flow of sending. You will no longer chase, for what you send will chase you. You will no longer beg, for what you send will kneel before you. You will no longer doubt, for what you send will prove itself faithful. And in this you will taste the sweetness of freedom, the power of mastery, the joy of creation. And so I leave you with this unshakable truth. Once you send this energy, they are hooked for life. Send wisely, send lovingly, send boldly, and the world will become the mirror of your radiance. And now let us go deeper still, for there is a layer of understanding that most will never touch, and yet it is the essence of all power. The energy you send not only moves others, it moves the universe itself. Every thought, every feeling, every vivid imagining is a seed cast into the fertile soil of existence, and the soil responds not to doubt, not to hesitation, but to the unwavering certainty of your inner state. When you stand fully in the feeling of fulfillment, when you embody the reality you seek, as though it were the only truth, you radiate a signal so compelling, so alive, that the world rearranges itself to conform to it. You may think that life is determined by chance or circumstance, but chance is merely a reflection of unmastered energy, and circumstance is pliable in the hands of the conscious imagination. The universe bows only to energy sent with faith, to energy that is alive with conviction. You must understand, beloved, that the energy you carry is contagious. It moves invisibly yet irresistibly. When you radiate confidence, others are drawn into your orbit. They feel your authority, your self-possession, and without conscious effort they respond. When you radiate love, pure and unconditional, it lodges in the subconscious of those you encounter, and they are drawn to you as moths to a flame. When you radiate abundance, opportunity surfaces, doors open, and circumstances align as though guided by invisible hands. And once you have sent this energy, once it has taken root in the unseen, it cannot be undone. Those who are meant to be influenced by it will find themselves captivated, compelled, drawn irresistibly into your field. Once they touch your energy, they are hooked for life. This is why imagination is more than fancy, more than wishful thinking. It is the very instrument of creation. When you imagine with feeling, when you saturate every sense with the reality of your desire, you are not pretending, you are performing the divine act of creation. Close your eyes and feel the presence of those you wish to influence. Hear their words in your mind, see their faces glowing with recognition, sense their hearts attuned to yours. Do not imagine as though you are persuading them. Imagine as though it has always been so. The subtle difference between persuading and remembering is the difference between struggle and effortless magnetism. When you remember, the energy flows naturally, without tension, without demand, and that energy cannot be resisted. Consider the quiet power of a single moment, a single sustained feeling. 1 minute of absolute conviction can plant a seed that decades cannot erase. You may have dismissed moments of inspiration in your past, yet those brief sparks were the beginning of change you did not yet see. The universe is infinitely patient. It does not rush, it does not falter, it does not fail. Once the seed of your energy is sown, it waits, nurtured by the unseen forces, until the moment is ripe. And when it manifests, when the fruit appears in form, it seems sudden only to the uninitiated. You, however, will know that it was inevitable, for the energy you sent was persistent, deliberate, and unwavering. And yet there is more. The energy you radiate does not merely attract what you desire, it transforms you. In the act of embodying the state of your wish fulfilled, you become the person who could not help but command it. Imagine yourself in the reality you seek. Confident, radiant, fulfilled, powerful, loved. Feel the sensations as though they are already yours. Each heartbeat, each breath, each thought aligns with this reality. You are no longer the person who waits for recognition, approval, or opportunity. You are the person who holds the law in your being. And this transformation is invisible yet undeniable. For those who encounter you will sense it, even if they cannot name it. They feel the energy and they are drawn, captivated, compelled, hooked by the magnetism of your being. Do not underestimate the subtlety of this power. It is not in the loud display, the frantic effort, or the desperate plea. It is in the quiet assurance, the inner fullness, the serene conviction that what you have imagined is already so. The world responds not to shouting but to the resonance of truth within you. When you radiate this truth, the unseen world bends to it, and the visible world must follow. People will be moved, opportunities will align, circumstances will shift, all because the energy you have sent is faithful to its own nature. Once sent, it cannot return void, and those who encounter it cannot escape its influence. Now let us examine the nature of resistance. Some may resist, some may flee, some may deny. Do not be alarmed, for this is not a failure. Resistance is merely the outer echo of the inner struggle of the other. Energy always finds its counterpart, but if the counterpart resists, the energy does not dissipate. It presses, it lingers, it deepens the impression. In time the resistance crumbles, for the law cannot be denied. And when it crumbles, those who once resisted will find themselves aligned, drawn, captivated, as if by destiny itself. Once again I tell you, once you send this energy, they are hooked for life. Even resistance, even denial, ultimately reinforces the magnetism, for the subconscious remembers, and memory is stronger than argument. And consider, beloved, the quality of energy you send. Let it be love, not manipulation.